Hey everybody, my name is Alex Snape. I'm a musician and an audio engineer based out of Guelph, Ontario, Canada. Thanks for tuning in to the Nomadic Arts YouTube channel. We're going to be posting all sorts of content on how to record, mix, and master your own music. So make sure you subscribe, and let's make some music. So today's video is going to be about drum programming. And the way I'm going to showcase that is I'm going to play you 4 beats over on the acoustic kit, and then we're going to go on the computer, and we're going to try and recreate each one of those beats using MIDI.
Alrighty. Welcome everybody. We are in the DAW, or the DAW, the Digital Audio Workstation. So this is the piano roll in Reaper. I find the best way to do it is just to break it down and just only think about the kick at the start, and then only think about the snare, and then only think about the toms, and then lastly do all the cymbals. So let's start with the kick for this first beat here. Let's check it out first. So yeah, we just got a straightforward rock, or whatever you want to call this kind of beat. Bam. So let's think about the kick first. Let's just solo it. Let's listen to it. See, when you look at it like that, there's not really a lot going on. So this won't be terribly hard. Let's start with this. Got one kick right there. Bam. And one thing you're going to notice is you'll start dragging this little... Any DAW will have this. You got your velocity down here, and then you've got where you're placing your sample on the horizontal axis. So down here, there will be 127 different velocities you can access. That is currently the way MIDI works. There's usually 127 different velocities of whatever instrument or sample you happen to be working with. If it is a multi-sampled instrument, that means that the velocities should access different samples and kind of just do that for you, which is nice. It makes things sound a little more natural if you're not re-triggering the exact same sample right next to itself, because then your brain starts figuring out that you're tricking it. But in any case, it sounds like I'm hitting the kick fairly hard, but not terribly hard. So I'm going to move it to like 112. Let's start with that. Boop, boop. So then we're coming in over here. And you could make that one a little less hard. Boop, 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 bap. So this is what you can do. You just keep playing it, and then you'll see exactly where the kick should go. Oh, no, that's wrong. Everybody makes mistakes. I apologize if this is painfully boring, but that's kind of drum programming. It's not the most fun thing in the world, but someone has to do it. So let's play it with the full kit, and let's see if it sounds like it's messing it up. Bam. So let's move on to the snare. Let's see what the snare is doing. And you'll notice I'm putting in rim shots here rather than just the snare samples. And the reason for that is if you're doing an open, slow beat like this and it's rock music, chances are the guy's going to be rim shotting. He's not going to be doing a regular. You could just do a hard snare like that, but it just doesn't have that crack that a rim shot has. And sometimes you want that crack that a rim shot has. So let's keep listening. Bam. So at this point, it should sound like I've just got samples reinforcing the kick and the snare. Yeah, let's check it out. See if I mute it. Just the regular stuff. Bring back in the samples. Sweet. So we've got the kick and the snare. Now we can look at toms. There's a couple little tom hits in here, I believe. Scoop at doom. And then we've got kind of like a little. But it sounds like I do like a little triplet kind of, almost like a little flam on the tom or something. So we'll put that in. If you need to switch to triplets, you go down to the grid and you switch it from straight to triplets. We will get into more technical stuff like that in a later video. But hey, if you're looking for it right now, there it is. Let's see what that sounds like. I certainly didn't play that hard. Get out with those. Bam. Yeah, not a lot of toms in that beat. That's fine. Now, everybody's favorite. We can do the cymbals. Got crash left. And then crash right. And we don't have to make those incredibly hard, but reasonably. When you're doing the hi-hats, if you have a multi-sample kind of interface like this that gives you a bunch of different sort of hat spaces where there's more samples, then definitely use them because it will make your hat sound a lot more natural rather than just choosing the exact same one side by side like that kind of thing. So there's a little tip for you. Chances are when you hit a snare as well as a cymbal at once, you're going to hit a little harder on the hit that you're also hitting the snare on. So paying attention to little things like that while programming will go a long way in regards to making these sound like a real person may have played them. If you have everything all the one same velocity, it's going to sound like a robot because nobody plays drums like that. Going. Just start mixing up the pattern just to access more of the different sample banks, and it'll make it sound a little better. Oh, I got a little choke there. A little fancy thing. Okay. So I do a little open hat there along with the kick, which you'll hear. But you'll see, if you don't program another hit right after it that's closed, the hi-hat's just going to stay open because it's thankfully a smart little sampler like that. So you got to put a closed hat right after that guy, and then bam, it sounds like what I did. Incredible. Oh, you can hear I've got another little. Yeah, you can hear how that little thing, if I leave sort of a little quarter note open hat there, it stays open too long. So I have to put a little eighth closed hat there. You can put it really quiet if you want to, just so it sounds like you're kind of closing the hi-hat with your foot. And works like this. And then you can hear we've got the cymbals at the end again there, I believe. Is it both? Oh yeah, I'm smacking both. Okay. Let's check it out. So, here it is, just me, without any samples. And then let's bring in some samples. So now let's hear it without any real drums whatsoever. And let's see how close we got to the actual performance. Oh, pretty darn close, but I noticed one little open hat that I must have missed. So let's check it out, see if you guys can hear it too. There it is. I didn't put that in. So this guy has to be open for a second, and then like we did the other time, need to put a quick little eighth note hat in there to close the hat. So check that out again. Bam. We got it. I think that was the only other difference. Other than that, I think we totally got it. So that's that entire beat entirely replaced with programmed drums. So that's kind of what it looks like. That's what ends up happening. Bam. So yeah, hopefully that makes sense to you. Like I said, I think the easiest thing to do is just to break it down and think about each limb of the drummer or each kind of section of the drum kit a little bit differently, or at least in isolation. So program the kicks first, then maybe program the snares, then you could do all the toms, and then you can worry about the cymbals rather than just trying to think about everything at once and making it all weird. Yeah, hopefully that makes sense. And now we can move on to a slightly more complex beat.
Okay, so by the time I got to the end of making this video, it was about 45 minutes long. So I decided that's way too long. I don't want to bore everybody to death with my very first video on this channel. So I decided to turn this into a 4-part series. If you come back next week, we can continue in part 2 of our drum programming series. So thanks for watching. Cheers.